All right, let's get into this quickly. We see that the SPY gave a lot of movement this morning. Again, it popped up and then it pretty much gave a lot of action during the day. You can see from the 30-minute, that we had some moving up, broke down pretty well, and then kind of broke down as well going into the close for the last half an hour. So again, still in a short-term bearish look for this right now. Again, long-term, we cannot really say anything too bearish because we have to just keep a very simple rule to say, listen, until it gets to that 50%, we won't call out to say, okay, the trend is broken. But what we also need to definitely take into account is that, listen, this was just, why do you think they just popped it right above these? Because again, the breakout was just easy for people to take your money. Now, this is a dip I'll be very cautious on, going to a double dip, come up. I mean, it looked like it was going to generate a hammer, but it ended up not, being that it closed the last half an hour, it got to the downside. So we just have to be very, very cautious regarding this. If you're in stuff, cool. If you're initiating longs, I'll be very cautious right now. Again, the dips have been paying off really well for the past. I mean, but don't get lazy. Don't just be like, and especially tomorrow's FOMC meeting. Don't be like, oh, they have to generate good news, so I'm going to go long because that's what they've been doing. Again, we all know this is a Fed-based market. And you just trade it accordingly. Again, that's not something for you to say, I'm going to stop trading because of that. If you're mad about that, then stop trading. How about that? But looking at the weekly, we can see also that we broke this previous 2 weeks ago. So again, this is another level that we saw as support, and it broke it. It did get below it, and again, if it's holding, but this should be a point that we would want to say, okay, this should hold. This price level should hold, and it's a previous high. So we don't know how far this is going to go. Again, if it adds some volume to the need of volume sometimes. We can see that if it adds some volume, that it could definitely come down again and test these levels. We want to make sure that we're looking at everything holistically and not ruling out any. The markets, aren't that predictable. And again, we have another price level for the IWM we looked at, and we said, okay, if it could break above this high, and that's why I usually wait for a break of a high of the day. I'm not just, oh, it's at this price level and it opens at this. It has to break a high, and then I have a defined risk of under this low, and it never got into it. So again, this is saying something as well, that the markets are rolling back into a cluster of it pretty much came up, went sideways for a bunch of ways, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boom. But now it's right back into it. So, this is where the buying happened last time. You want to see if it's going to hold. Okay. And the diamond grandpa's index that, your dad's telling you that things aren't looking well. Well, the index, again, looked like it was going to be a hammer. But then I try, and there's another thing too. Pick your time frame of entry and stay with it. Meaning, if you get off the dailies, I use the daily as my time frame to get in. Don't go to a 15-minute, because you're just going to scare yourself out of a trade that you might have gotten in if you just kept looking at the time frame. Keep your stop and your entry based on one time frame. Okay, so if you're going to use the 30-minute, well, guess what? Your stop needs to be based on the 30-minute. Okay, it might make life easier for you. That's just my recommendation. Again, I don't know everything, so Netflix continued down. Again, we have some type of. Want to see if these levels hold. Again, it was down as much as $9 today. It ended up closing around -6. GoPro, another one I'm in actually. So we're going to see how this one plays out. The volume was pretty light, so we'll see. Maybe I get stopped out, maybe I don't. Again, it wasn't, it's just trading. But again, I do like the break of this low, and again, my stop is probably above here because I got in around this time frame. You got Amazon. Amazon still looking to the downside. Again, these things don't just go straight up or straight down. So again, I'm still having my, I'm still looking at the 275 level. Let's look at Apple. Excuse me. Apple again is giving some indecision, but this is not. Again, you want to see a break of at least a high before you get in. And again, if it broke this high, I'll be like, okay. Maybe it's a good entry to get into based on just looking at, again, our very simple fib extension going up around the 50%. broke a little bit below it, but if it broke high up above it, then that could be a buy signal, and you would have your low of the day as far as where you would want to get out. Did I do Tesla? So Tesla as well, that one, we got to just see how it goes. But again, I'm in around this about $10 ago. So again, you don't look for things to go straight up or straight down. And I think this has more downside potential to it. I've been wrong before, but again, I'm pretty much at a break-even stop right now. So either way, I'm comfortable with what I got going on. You just got to trade your plan, and no one knows exactly what's going on, and you got to have your trading rules for capital preservation. So again, we'll see what happens. Again, expect tomorrow FOMC. Sometimes it just does a move like the first half an hour, and then it just is sideways. So don't look for action and get caught in that chop before the 2 o'clock announcement. Take care.